2, 1. I'm waving. Hello, 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 hello.
Hey guys, dreamt of
Hello.
you last night, woke up you weren't there. 5 nights in a row of dreams I'd never share. You come without a warning early in the morning, timing's never been our thing, leaving me with guilt. The only souvenir you bring. What is up, Eurovision
Can you
fam?
guys
How are y'all
tell?
doing
Can you
today?
guys tell what song Jordan is the most excited to talk about today?
No, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Maybe we could just dissect that a little bit more. But yeah, hey guys, so we are discussing some more songs today. We're discussing the American Song Contest and a couple of the updates. It's a regular stream, but all the more excitement. So,
Yes.
where should we get started? Where should we get started?
Oh,
What do
I
you
just
think?
want to say hi to Ariana real quick. She is in the
Ariana, hey.
chat. Hello, Ariana.
One of
Um,
our loyal viewers. Thank you so much.
can properly tune in live this time thanks to the holiday. So I don't know where you are, but happy holiday. Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Happy
you're
holiday.
trying to think because there's a lot of stuff happening today. So there's a lot of places like because it's this weekend,
Yep.
and I already know my roommate was complaining because she was cleaning so much yesterday. She had to get Passover ready. Or my former
hmm
roommate.
My
Okay.
skin can already tell what holiday is coming because of my allergies. But
All right, so thank you guys so much for joining in. Yeah, like
thank you.
Jordan said, we've got a jam pack, well, not super jam pack stream, but we are going to be talking about site articles, of course,
hmm
songs competing at Eurovision and the American Song Contest. I want to just go ahead and kick it off with the same thing we kicked it off with last week, which is the events that the Eurovision that Alicia Michelle is hosting in Turin as part of the Eurovision Fam.
hmm
There is the bar crawl and there is also the family dinner. And like Alicia said about the bar crawl, it's more of a cocktail crawl. But
hmm
we don't really have a term of cocktail crawl in our common nomenclature here. So thank you. If you're interested in
Thank
doing
you.
those, we've got those
Mm-hmm.
tickets up still. Description box is where you'll find the
And the
link.
Eurofam dinner, you guys,
Yes, of
which
course.
I'm coming to. So if you want to come meet me and Alicia and a couple of the other cool folks, then I will for sure be there. And there are two settings for the menu. So you can select from the Piedmontese menu or the of the sea selection, which is around $15 US more. But they both look absolutely delicious. And we are just going to be sitting at a table talking all about Eurovision. So that's going to be a great time, you guys.
Sounds like a fun time. I'm gonna be
hmm
sitting here, not in Turin. It's okay. So the next thing on here is site articles. This
hmm
week we have an article that Jorge wrote. It's a interview with Vladana, who's representing Montenegro, and she kind of goes
Uh-huh.
into some details about the song herself and everything else there. So I'd say definitely go ahead and check that out. It will be
And
in the
breathe.
description box as
Uh-huh.
well. Like everything is always in the description box. Yeah. Let's see.
hmm
Were there any other? No, there weren't any other articles.
No.
Okay, so now we've kind of gone over site articles. We've gone over um, fam events. Let's talk American Song Contest because I got notes this week. Um, so this
I
week,
wonder if we have the same notes. I wonder if we have this
we'll
notes.
see.
We'll find out. We'll
We'll
see.
see. Yeah. So, first thing we're going to kick off with is the qualifiers from Heat 3. We already
hmm
knew going in that Tennessee had was the jury qualifier. And then we have the other three joining are going to be Colorado, Alabama, and Texas that are going on to the semi.
Yes, they are.
I can't say I'm super shocked. I
hmm
mean, like looking at the voting as we were watching the show, I knew Alabama was going to be going in. Um,
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming too. Like toward the end, they just kind of had like a steady build, and then they like solidified their place there.
and I mean, when you go with Alabama, you get your a lady and a black person in. So like that's gonna get your diversity quota all in one package.
Yep, you got
Uh,
your college brochure right there.
yep. And then you have Colorado. He comes from like a family of actors and stuff. So
hmm
he's probably got fans. And when it comes to Texas, I mean, the Kids Bop Mafia is real.
I mean,
I'm sorry laughing at that. It was a terrible joke. Um, I don't know anyone I've never met anyone who listens to Kids Bop ever. Um,
weren't they trying to make like a Kids Bop version of WAP? But anyways, like Disregard that. Disregard the Kids Bop discourse from me.
This is telling you how old I am. The song Lollipop by Lil Wayne. I made a parody version of, because you know how my voice sounds? I sound like a child.
Yeah.
So I had done that and made my voice sound even more like a little kid, and I was singing that at one point. It's somewhere deep, deep, deep on LimeWire from, like, way back in the day. So
I haven't heard about that song at least in the last 15 years.
Yeah, it's on LimeWire. I know it's on LimeWire for a fact because my friends and I thought it was so funny.
We're gonna hunt someday.
Yeah, and then with Texas, that overall package was really sleek. It was eye-catching. Texas is a big state. It was Melfest ready. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, that would have gone direct to final in Melfest too.
Yeah, it would have. It was a very solid performance, and Kelly should be proud, especially.
Yeah. So, that's what we had with Heat 3. Not shocked by any of the qualifiers.
I'm not shocked, but I'm also not, like, super in love with it.
I'm not either.
I'll be honest, I don't remember any of the songs other than Tennessee. I mean, like, when it comes to the qualifiers, at least, I do think it was, like, still a pretty good heat, decently, but Tennessee's the only one who I can, like, kind of remember a line or two. The other three qualifiers, like, it doesn't immediately come to me, but that's fine, because the song can still grow.
Yeah, exactly. So then we had Heat 4 this week. And I'm going to just run through the states that were competing. New Hampshire, Nevada, Utah, D.C., which is not a state, it's a city, federal district, but okay. Massachusetts, Georgia, Hawaii, West Virginia, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Washington for our competitors there. And Washington got the ticket as the jury qualifier.
The other Washington, though.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Honestly, I have thoughts. Real quick, let's start with that. I loved Washington State. But here's the thing. I already knew who Alan Stone was going into the contest.
Okay.
Because, like, he did a Tiny Desk concert. And I love Tiny Desk concerts. They're, like, my favorite.
I love them, too.
So, because of that, I knew that. He's one of those people who, if you're a musician, you know who he is. But, like, your average... He's not, like, a household name. So it's one of those things where he's popular with musicians more so than he's popular with, like, regular people, because he doesn't really get played on the radio. And he's yeah.
Oh, he's kind of in the up-and-coming crowd, more or less, then.
I wouldn't even call it that. It's like, there's certain bands, how do I phrase this? I don't know the best way to do this without sounding like a pretentious butthole. There are certain musicians and certain bands that are more popular with other musicians and bands than they are with the general public.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Like, there's just certain... I'm trying to think of another... I'm so sorry. Why can I not remember their name? There's one band I listen to that's studio musicians. That's all they are. They're just straight up studio musicians. So people don't know who they are, really. And, like, it's one of those ones where, like, a friend of a friend told me about them. It's like, oh, you like jazz? Like, you should listen to this band. And it's one of those things.
Oh, okay. All right, then.
Yeah, there's like a couple of them. I'm struggling to remember their name, like a bunch of them. But like studio musicians aren't really flashy. You know what I mean? So you have to know, like, no. It's weird to explain, but like I think that's what it is with Alan Stone. You don't have to necessarily be a musician to know who he is, but he's more popular amongst musicians. He's also more popular amongst the NPR crowd, I think.
I could definitely see that. And if there's one thing that's certain about when he performed, it's that, like, he does have a very distinct sound. And that, like, I think the difference is I probably would be able to recognize it and even remember his face. Like, if I were to hear, like, his voice or his kind of musical candor again, he's very unique. And so that's why I feel like was his carrying quality to qualify.
Yeah, the other thing with him as well is, like, that was a straight-up throwback song. Like, that is how you do a throwback to the 70s. Yeah. Let's be honest. Like, there's no way you hear that and you can mistake it for being any other decade besides the 70s. I mean, it's a throwback song.
It was so truly done. Even the lyrics, too, seemed very 70s.
Yeah, everything about that was, like, it's one of those things where you can tell what music he likes and what music's inspiring him. And I do like to see that from someone. Also, it's the kind of music I like. Like, I grew up on a lot of 70s tracks, so that's why there's a song we're going to be talking about today that really speaks to me in regards to that taste that I had growing up. So I am okay with him going straight through, to be honest. Like, there's 2 songs in particular this heat that I absolutely adored, and he's one of them. So
I personally would agree, yeah.
Yeah, so that as far as I'm concerned, like, Washington State is the best of the jury qualifiers we've had so far. Because if I was a juror, I would have put that through.
Dang. Honestly, I probably would be on the same side as you. I would have to listen to the jury qualifiers one more time in sequence, but I do feel pretty strongly about what you said because it's just that good, you guys.
Yeah. Now, were there any other? I mean, honestly, I thought this was the strongest heat we've had thus far.
I would say so too. I completely agree with that.
Like, we could have used some of these songs in earlier heats, to be perfectly honest.
We definitely could have balanced them out. Like heat 2, like.
I mean, like, my thing is like heat 3. Last week I was just like, okay. Heat 1 was kind of blandish. Heat 2 I didn't hate, because there's a couple of songs I really really liked in heat 2. But yeah, like, let's go ahead now. Was there anyone in particular that stood out to you wanted to talk about? Because I got notes. I have lots of people I want to talk about.
Yeah. Oh yes, please. Let's talk about all of them because I got notes too. But if there's one standout that I feel like is my even current winner of the American Song Contest, I'm going to even go that far. Pennsylvania. I
loved Pennsylvania.
I never thought in my lifetime. Well, I mean, like Pennsylvania, like I don't think about this state more than during election time. But I know that Pennsylvania has an excellent music scene because I really like their Pennsylvania rap scene. And so the R&B scene, I'm not super familiar with. This was my introduction to it. It's perfect. It's my winner. I really don't know what else to say about it. It's so soft. It's so poetic. It's so just, it will put you in a good mood no matter what. It's to my heart. I love that song so much.
It was absolute excellence. Like, so good. And like, I was watching Alicia Michelle's after stream. I'll put a link to the one that we had this week. She had on Almira and Broderick as well came into Alicia's stream this week. So Almira was so cool. Like, she's a fan of Bree Steves. She's like, if you don't listen to her, go listen to her whole album. She's fantastic. Agreed with that statement because I took her advice and I listened to her full albums on Spotify. She's great.
We're gonna listen to you, Almira. I'm gonna listen to.
Honestly, like, number one, Bree is gorgeous. Like, that was the first thing. I just like.
No, she's so beautiful. Pretty. No, when I just saw her in the green room, I was just like, dang, like she knows how to style.
Yeah.
She knows how to carry herself. Like, this is an individual who just is a diamond.
Her voice is fantastic. The way she transitioned from singing over to rap seamlessly.
Teach some Eurovision acts how to do that well, please.
No, just teach general people how to do that well. Like, because she did it so flawlessly. And, like, I just, her whole background of, instead of getting a car, she got studio equipment. Okay, heck yeah, love that. Self-made, do your best, like, working hard.
It's legitimately candid.
It's so relatable, too. And it's like, I absolutely love her. Song was fantastic. It was, like, very uplifting. And great mix of R&B and rap. And, yeah, I think that Bree Steves was fantastic. So I'm on board with you with Pennsylvania. Absolutely loving that one.
I like DMV and periphery area. Please stick around doing rap. Please stick around doing R&B. You guys have such awesome artists in those genres. Don't stop. Please show the world what it sounds like.
Now, you said DMV, and I want to talk about DC real quick. I'm sorry. If you don't know what that stands for, it's District, Maryland, and Virginia. That's what that stands for when we're talking about geographically. It's also where you go to get a new driver's license, but that's a side thing. That's something completely different. So, I'm from the DMV because I'm from Northern Virginia. Like, I'm right outside of DC, is where I was born, raised, grew up most of my life. I did live in Pennsylvania for a couple of years, but would not recommend it. So I wasn't in Philly. I was in a small, horrible town. The best thing about that town, though, was the eggs. Great eggs. And very good milk. Other than that, not a big fan. I was disappointed by this because for me the best part of the song was when we got the go-go breakdown. It's like, I don't know, because the thing is, like, it's such a distinct, like, when you think of DC music, you think of go-go. That's straight up what it is. Like, if you ever come to the city, And you get off on the train, there's people busking, and they're busking with go-go music. There's like stores that just blast it out of the like that's just what the stores are playing is go-go music. Even like our local radio station that's not bought out by iHeartMedia, they play a lot of go-go music, and they do a lot of remixes of popular pop songs, but they do go-go remixes of them.
And that's just like a very DC kind of sound.
It's an extremely DC sound. Like, I know someone, when I lived in Pennsylvania, this guy who came in, we were just talking, and he had gone to Howard University, which is a college in DC. And when he found out I was from this area, his first reaction was, oh, so how do you feel about go-go? And I'm like, I love it. He's like, same. He's like, I wasn't into it at first, but then I moved there, and it's something you fall in love with when you live here. And it's something that's so distinctly the city.
It's anthemic of your area.
Exactly. And so I would have liked to see that, because that's like, I think I made a comparison of like go-go is to DC as fado is to Portugal. It's like a distinct sound that not everyone from not the area enjoys. Because if you think about it, like fado, Portugal consistently sent fado to Eurovision year after year after year, and it just didn't click all the time. So like, I think it's like a similar sort of a thing. Yes, Ariana agrees. I wish the song had more go-go. Agreed. We all would have liked that. So because of that, I am disappointed. And then somebody did some investigating, and he's from PG County. He's not from DC. Okay, PG County is right there still. So I'm going to give it a pass, because PG County is where you go to DC, because fireworks are illegal in Maryland. And there's a fireworks stand right next. They're legal in DC for some reason. But yeah, you can just hop over grab your fireworks and go back to Maryland. So, and I feel like that's PG County. Because whenever I think of PG County, I think of that, and I think of the hospital. That sounds weird. My mom used to live in PG County, so I kind of used to go there on the weekends. What does
PG County stand for?
Prince George's County.
Prince George's County, ooh.
Yeah, we have counties that we just, like, Moco is Montgomery County.
I live in Contra Costa County.
Moco's where you go if you want cheap liquor.
That sounds like where you go if you want cheap liquor. That sounds like the store that you go to.
If you watch Real Housewives of the Potomac in Maryland is in Montgomery County.
There's a Real Housewives of Potomac?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's a mess. And not all of them live in Potomac. One of them lives in Arlington.
None of these places are real to me. Like, I haven't visited yet. So, like, all of this is just, like, a simulation to me.
My sister watches all the Real Housewives shows. She loves them, and I'm just, like, wandering by. Like, okay, I guess I'll sit down and watch a minute of this. So, yeah, with DC, I just felt disappointed. Could use more of that go-go. But what I do like is that the vocal was solid. And know what, this week, everyone sang live this week, which is like the biggest note I had about the overall show. So yeah, I'm just
That was fabulous. That felt natural, you guys. It didn't feel like we were losing the performance, kind of like we did with like Heat 1, where it's like when they decided to do the playback, that was the only thing you could hear.
Yeah.
Like, they balanced it very well. They're listening to us. They're actually listening.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Anyone else that stood out? A lot of people stood out to me this week.
Yeah, same.
West Virginia.
Oh my god. So good. I was so surprised with how much I love that song, but it is solid. It is ridiculously solid. Genuinely
speaking, if I was a juror, it would be between West Virginia and Washington for me to send through.
Yeah,
my thing with West Virginia is that I wrote it's a perfect pop song, because like I have this thing when I listen to music where even if I'm like not listening to it critically, I kind of think, okay, what if we did this instead? What if we made like a little tweak here, a little tweak there? With Alexis Cunningham's working on a miracle, I don't have any notes. It's a perfect pop song. There's very few, like there's a few other songs that do that for me, but it was one of those ones where like everything about the song itself was great. I would change around the staging stuff a bit. I want more of her, like focus on her. But as a song, sonically, this was perfect for me. Like, it was so good.
And it was so smooth. There were different like sections of the song that transitioned so well into each other, and it just made the entire thing feel like a journey. I really enjoy how like the tune itself carried a story with it, you know?
And like there was a good bit of like a mix of like a little bit of funk in the bass.
Yeah.
The drums were very rocky. The vocal was nice, clear pop vocal. It had a good mix
It's
going
got a
on.
strut to it even, yeah.
Exactly. So it had a good mix of everything, and it just sounded seamless and perfect. And
Hmm.
I don't have like I just wanted to call that one out for being a song that I thought was absolute perfection.
Hmm.
And
I know, I completely agree with you there. It was probably, I think, in the top 5 most polished songs that we've gotten in the contest so far. I'm gonna make that claim.
yeah, I'm okay with that. Like
Hmm.
it was great. Now I'm trying to think anyone else. I like I said, I have lots of notes.
I have lots of notes as well.
Arizona, Las Marias with De La Finiquera. Um,
What the hell is wrong with the American juries for Heat 4? They gave us a perfect performance. I love the song. So far, it's the only one that has like what, like 95% Spanish lyrics,
I
and we
don't.
paid it dust.
I think the only English was the first line of the song.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, exactly. It's like, but why are we paying it dust? I mean, I'm just thinking about the other songs we heard perform in this heat, and it's like this is not second to last place out of all of them. Actually,
No.
this is a very well organized composition.
Here's what I think it is because I looked at who's the jury. The
Mhm.
jury is all people who work for iHeartRadio, um, and Clear Channel. So if you don't live in the United States, you might not know those two names. Clear Channel and iHeartMedia are the company that single-handedly ruined radio. Straight up.
Y'all like Shawn Mendes?
Basically, they are radio programmers who choose the most bland things. And they're playing catch up. Like, so there's a reason why no one uses the radio anymore. And they're a part of why that is. Now, I'm trying to think, like, if you listen to radio here, you don't get a variety. Like, I don't know anyone who listens to. I'm also
You get
old.
Ed Sheeran, you get Camila, you get the people who you would see like on a cable network because they just recently did like some kind of like live action movie, like that crop of folk who decide to make music every now and then, who get those radio grabs, who get those radio time slots. And
Yeah,
we're not familiar with that sound anymore, or at least I'm not.
I'm not. I don't know anyone who listens to that sound anymore. I'm trying to think. Like, I'm old, so I could be that. But like, my best friend's a teacher. She teaches middle school, and what middle
Mm,
schoolers are listening to is not that sort of thing. Like, she's also like they listen to like K. At least here, they listen to a lot of K-pop. Um, but like, I
Travis Scott.
also, huh? A lot of
Travis Scott.
K-pop. Yeah, I don't know anyone who like. I guess my sister listens to Travis Scott. She's like
Out here in the Bay, we got some like a lot of folks
18ish.
actually.
Yeah.
Mm.
So like I do know people who listen. Like
K-pop, yeah.
I'm just trying to think because like when I used to listen to the radio, we had good variety. But I used to listen to the radio back in the late '90s, early 2000s. Once I had streaming services, I was by no more radio. But
Mm.
like I guess you want to have musical professionals, but like I would say don't choose like don't bill yourselves as the American Song Contest and just be looking for generic pop because what was sitting at the top, Massachusetts was sitting at the top for a while, which I don't get.
Aw.
I didn't get that.
I don't get that either. I don't get it either. Like I mean like it seemed like, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this honestly a little bit aggressively toward Krista Bjorkman. This is the kind of song that is set up for Melfest and to do relatively well in Melfest.
But
Like there was just something.
look at how fans
Yeah.
reacted to Melfest for so long. Like it's giving me the same kind of energy as like I guess the juries. He needs to go call a couple of those jurors to go work Melfest too because they fit right
Mm,
in over there. It's like when we were all in that dirge between Sonya Nilsson and the Mamas, where it was just like generic man music. It was well
yeah.
produced, sleek, generic man music, but that's what it was.
There was nothing going on stage. Like the staging was pulled out of like a file of general files.
Hmm.
What was it? The production sounded like you could get it off of just like a free YouTube MP4. It's just like here's your pop beat, kind of a deal. Like it just didn't feel, at least in my opinion, original. It didn't feel like it was derived from any like true feeling or true story. It just kind of sat there with me. So I don't really see how it did that well, other than the fact that like it is just safe pop. You
Yeah,
know?
and like with Las Marias, they're giving us something that is genuinely a part of their culture. And in the American
Mm-hmm.
Southwest, that used to be part of Mexico, okay? Like, I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, these all used to be a part of Mexico.
Uh-huh. I'm still living in old Mexico over here.
Like, oh my gosh, sorry. Oh my
No.
gosh.
It's we
I had to have a tooth pulled earlier today, so I'm just like getting chunks of my old tooth in my mouth every once in a while when I talk. Sorry about that.
everyone pray for Lily because because she's going through it.
I am. Um, so, like, the border just got put, further south than it was before. And, like, as far as I'm concerned, if you're in the American South, like, the thing with the United States is that it's such a big country, and it's a country that is the dominant culture of the country is a culture from Europe when it shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
colonialism, baby. Manifest Destiny does that to people.
Uh-huh.
So because of that, it kind of puts you in like, this is why I think borders are stupid. I'm not going to get into my anarchist beliefs about where borders lie.
Maybe sometime in a later stream or like on our own independent channel we can get into that for sure because I can
But
definitely
like
rant about that as well.
with Arizona, like that song is genuine to them. It's telling the story of like them growing up and having their parents deported, and you have
Uh-huh.
to live across the border now. Like you're living in two countries, and
Yeah, it's
that's a common thing. It's not something that's like
these are my neighbors, these are my coworkers, these are people who like I'm around
yeah,
constantly because I mean the Mexican diaspora, it is so prevalent that I thought there would be some kind of carryover with the jury because this is also just in my opinion the best Spanish language song we've gotten so far. It's just
yeah,
a really good composition, you guys.
yeah.
I'm baffled by the fact that we didn't receive it like as like even close to the top 3.
Yeah, I think it's what it is that like the jury say that they want something radio friendly, but to me, if I go like listen to the like we have a radio station here, that's AM, and this is something you'd hear on that station, and more
Mm-hmm.
people listen to that station than your generic American station.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Georgios Papadopoulos says, "I'm Greek.
Or just say,
I'm from Greece, Germany, and I have okay. So you're Greek and like you're a Greek person living in Germany. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to clarify that. And I have Greek American relatives in any of the if oh sorry in any of those countries. Almost nobody listens to the radio. It's all Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok. I agree.
okay,
TikTok
yeah.
has basically become the radio now, so that's why
Mm-hmm.
you see a lot of stuff chart that gets popular on TikTok. And like that's why
Yeah.
like if you look at the Billboard charts, they are so bizarre because the radio doesn't really matter on them anymore. It's TikTok, Spotify streams, and YouTube because now they've added
Mm-hmm.
YouTube to it. So like that's when you're getting your more K-pop coming through. But
Yeah.
yeah, like it's one of those things where like no one listens to the radio. Why are we listening to radio producers?
Very good question. Very good question. That honestly might be one of the biggest caveats of this show, kind of the biggest struggles that it might have in terms of its own sustainability after this contest.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, like with Arizona, that was gorgeous. Staging was beautiful.
Hmm.
My only thing that was like I was like, oh gosh, I'm not a twin, but I have a sister who people thought we were twins for
Hmm.
most of our childhood, and let me tell you, seeing two twins wearing matching outfits but different colors, that took me back. I had war flashbacks. I was like, oh no, that's how our relatives used to
Uh-oh.
tell us apart. This one's always in pink. This one's always in purple. That's her. No.
Oh no. I'm
I was
sorry.
like, oh no. This is like back when our hair was always the same, only
Hmm.
she had twists and I had braids. Like it just took me back to being a child and being forced to always look like my sister.
Jeez. Well, I mean, it also doesn't help that they look super young too.
Oh yeah, they're probably like 16. They are
Yeah.
babies, like they are young, and I love seeing young people doing music that's more traditional. I love
Hmm.
that,
Same.
and we'll talk
It's
about that
great.
later too.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just looking here. Nevada, I love that one. I knew who the Crystal Method were before. It's like I used to listen to them every once in a
I
while back
really
in
like
my.
them. I
That was
really
great.
like that number.
And that
Yeah.
was like, that's how you stage a DJ with a singer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, Eurovision people, take notes, because that's how
Take
you
notes so
stage that.
seriously. Like if Lumix and Pia Maria wanted to go with a staging like that, then we could see some like pretty good performance. You know, it was just
Like,
very solid with the DJ stand.
yeah, that was good. That was how you do that. Um, Another one I wanted to just touch base on real quick. I wasn't a huge fan of the song, but Georgia, Stella Cole, I liked her personality, and I thought the personality came through really strong on that. I'm not a big fan of DIY. It's one of those songs that it's just not my taste at all. But I can see that her being someone I like a lot.
Uh huh.
Now, oh, there's also yeah. So
It's
that
kind of giving anxiety by Felicia Liu a little bit. It feels very unsolid for Eurovision, if that makes sense.
I wrote a note of it is the 2020s pop girl answer to Scrubs.
Okay, okay, yeah, that actually translates quite well.
Um, that's just me showing my age again, but okay. So yeah, I think with this Heat 4 was the strongest heat we've had so far. Because look, I've talked
Hmm.
about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs positively,
Hmm.
a couple of songs negatively, and like even the ones we haven't touched on with Mari, with the song "Fly." I want to go shopping with her, but I'm not into
Right?
empowerment songs, so like her song
She's
doesn't
so
connect to
much
me.
fun. She
She
is
seems
so much
great. Like
fun.
she seems
Yeah.
awesome. Great personality came through on her as well. Um,
Utah, I kind of liked, but I mean, I do kind of feel like it's quite similar to a number of the songs that we saw, like in the last couple heats. I
yeah,
liked it. I
at least
really liked it,
we only
but
got one country song this heat. So because we only got one country song, I can see her going through. Because country
mm,
music is going to do well. Um,
that kind of segues into my notes
okay.
a little bit. Oh, sorry. Did you have something else you need to say?
I was just gonna touch on Hawaii real quick. I'm
Yes,
okay.
Hawaii.
Um, it's the song is called "For You" by Bronson. I'm sorry, Bronson Verda. It wasn't bad. It's just not my thing. He's
That
cute though.
actually,
He's very
that's
cute.
that is the centerpiece of my notes actually. Hawaii. Hawaii. Okay, you guys. So, just touching on what we have experienced in the American Song Contest so far. Let's think about Heat 3, for example. We saw the Northern Marianas competing with an island jam that was romantic. And then Colorado was competing with an island jam that was more poppy, more sleek, and even just a little bit more synthy. We have one individual whose native music is derived from this island characteristic, and we have the other one who it's derivative based off of just island styles that became popular.
Mm.
And Colorado qualified, and the Northern Marianas didn't. Taking a look at this heat, we had Hawaii, which was it was like kind of the same thing. It was like a romantic song. Like they set you in the place of where this island is, and it's supposed to be just kind of romantic and light. And on the flip side of that, who were you? Where are you? Yeah, okay. So, and on the flip side of that, we have Heat 5 American Samoa coming up. I want to talk to the Pacifics really quick.
And
All the
Guam
Pacifics,
too.
all the islands, please let's stop doing the whole ukulele thing. I mean, like, I'm Filipino. I understand that this is like a huge part of our culture, a huge part of our like romantic expression, I guess, but this is all kind of going along one line. And if we continue to do that, then we're never going to do well. These white people will take our genres and then capitalize off of them because they know what, like, they know how to employ more radio, like, friendly sounding stuff. And I hate the fact that I have to say that in order to defend our own face. But we don't really have anything else if that's all we bring. And kind of just putting a cherry on top of this point, Washington, I loved Washington's song. He absolutely deserved to qualify. But we also had Pennsylvania up there too. And when it comes to black derived styles of music, I personally would have preferred Pennsylvania to go through only because that she has that characteristic to lean on, not necessarily the fact that she listened to that music style and then twisted it around to kind of like make it so that it is more radio pop friendly, which is what we saw with Washington, I would argue. I mean, like, people probably wouldn't agree with me, but it just feels odd to me that the songs that we see are doing well are like we get the true version of that genre within the heat, but the flip side of the coin, we do see the white act qualify with that same style, but it's not even with the same like 100% of the characteristics. That is something that I noticed. It might not be intentional, but it's upsetting. It's kind of upsetting to witness that, because it's just the other cultures of the United States, we have our own musical expertise, we have our own musical culture. So when we see people from outside those cultures capitalize on that and then do well in the face of that, it just doesn't feel good, you guys. And it especially doesn't feel good. Come on, island people, stop bringing like such stereotypical island jams. We are never going to pick it up. If American Samoa, I am looking specifically at you. If you manage to bring what the rest of the Pacific
Guam.
did.
You keep ignoring Guam. Guam's also in Heat 5 too.
Guam. Oh my goodness.
I
American
love Guam.
Samoa,
if you've never been to Guam, go.
You guys, I'm holding out, I'm working on a miracle for you. I'm West Virginia-ing because there's more to us than the damn ukulele tracks. There's more to us than what's that song? Basically like Hawaiian type music. I'm gonna not say Hawaiian. I'm gonna say island music in general because it is island music in general. But there's such a wide expanse of stories and genres that just aren't showcased at all from the Pacific Islands. And I don't know where that is. Like, we can do more, guys. But then again, like, it also isn't our fault that we aren't doing that well. Big rant, I know.
I know, no, because it's the same thing that black people have been saying since the 60s. Like, think about it. Yeah. Music, if you're a Eurovision fan, do you remember any of the songs from the 50s besides Volare? And, Refrain?
Skibuska Sile, not Denmark.
Okay.
57?
Yeah, because they were making out for a while. Like, that's why you remember it. You don't remember the song, you remember the making out.
I don't for a while.
On my own channel, I have a long project I've been working on for like a couple of years that I'm going to be doing. And there's a reason why you don't remember those songs, because they're very white. Popular music. Can you think of any popular music songs from the 50s? Like, can you think of any popular music, even in America, prior to the 60s? I can think of a couple.
Music wasn't,
but they're all by black artists. Everything I can think of is by a black person, because it's more memorable. There was a period, basically, where the reason... Who was the producer who said if he could find a white boy who could sing like a black person, he'd make a lot of money? The one who signed Elvis?
Is that really what he said?
Yeah. He didn't use the word black. He used a different word instead. But I'm not going to use that word. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's basically like you could find artists who are white, because white is marketable, but make them perform black music. And that's why Elvis was so popular.
You guys, if there's any question...
You can tell when in radio, it just turned into straight up cultural appropriation.
Well, yeah, because didn't the majority of Elvis's songs were ghost written by the black artists?
Not even ghost written, straight up stolen. Not even ghost written, just straight up taken. Without credit.
Oh my holy bananas. You guys, this
if you want
is basically the case example, yeah.
When people think about a song people think about when they think of Elvis is Hound Dog. That's by Big Mama Thornton originally. And that's a woman who played guitar. She was also bisexual, I think. She was either bisexual or lesbian, but she wasn't straight.
Then she definitely didn't write the song.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like you can see straight up cultural appropriation happening. And
and it sucks,
if you've ever seen I hate to use Hairspray as an example, but Hairspray is a good example as a musical you can think of, because that's a whole plot line in Hairspray, where the group of girls who sing in the girl group, the black girl group, have a song straight up stolen and ruined by the white girls.
Yeah,
it's a consistent thing that we've seen in music for most of music
Since the inception of
since
like
the
American
inception,
pop
exactly
music,
since the
I'd say.
inception of American pop music, it's been happening. Now, like, you got in the 60s, you have people like the Supremes who came, like, I can write a whole essay about this. I'm not, like, but
No,
it's,
at some point we need to have like a long discussion about this,
and it's
and then have these
obvious it's
people with
happening. And it's
us.
like, you're looking at this, there's no reason why, out of everything on here, consistently when we look at the results from the juries, the Black and Hispanic people tend to be low. I don't know why Florida was so high last week, because it really shouldn't have been, going off the quality of the song.
I liked it. I'm sorry. I really, really liked it.
Okay, well, that's you. Or, like, I mean, Puerto Rico got through.
I do get what you mean, though.
But, like,
But then
and
again,
then,
like Puerto Rico has that massive diaspora pool.
but
If
they were
didn't
also
have
up there.
that,
They were, like, also top 5 of the juries, too. And I
because
don't
it's
know
radio friendly.
Is it
It's not,
'cause of
it's not very
Despacito?
good, but it is kind of radio. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In that realm, it is very radio friendly.
So, like, I guess that's what it would have been. But, like, I'm looking here, and I don't see why you would put... For me, I would put Washington ahead of Pennsylvania, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Just because...
No, I mean, like... it was
yeah,
good.
It was really good, but, like, I wouldn't have put... Like, I think they were she was 4th.
He was
like,
4th, yeah.
When you're watching these heats, consistently, we are seeing... Like, with Arizona, there's no reason Arizona should be that low. No reason at all Arizona should have been second to last. At all.
No.
I don't know what is... Like, I don't know... I know what it is.
This is how you could tell this is an American song contest, okay? This is how you could tell it's American, because we are forced to come to face with the reality of racism and how often it puts other people in front of us, even when we do have our own creations.
Not even
this
racism.
Is very...
Not even only racism. Sexism, too, because it's all men. Look at the
Sexism.
qualifiers.
Sexism.
Most of the qualifiers are male.
All 4, isn't it?
Yeah, all 4 of the ones who qualified direct to the final are white men. Oh, look.
Yes, they are.
Who's on the jury? White men.
This is America, you guys. I don't really know how to describe it. This is America. This is just the world that we live in, and this is how, I guess, like, you're going to become more familiar with the society that we live in. But, yeah, this is... I mean, I'm not surprised at all. I'm just very, very, very sad and disappointed with how the results have unfolded.
Yeah, Georgios. I'm also sad that we missed Virginia, too. I'm sure Georgios just made a comment.
Yeah, Virginia, too. Like, absolute robbery. Absolute.
I mean, I'm happy we got Broderick, though. At least we have, like, a black man making, like,
Broderick
good R&B pop in the semis. So, yeah, that's kind of all my thoughts about Heat 4. Do you have anything else you want to add about Heat 4?
No, I managed to take care of my fat rant, so I'm good.
I mean, your rant is 100% justified as far as I'm concerned. I fear, because it's like, I think a lot of Americans also don't realize that we have these territories, because I know people who are from, like, American Samoa. I know people from Guam, because, like, where I live, is right next to a military base. So you get a lot of people who their parents were stationed there at one point. And it's one of those things also. I think everyone I know whose parents were in the Air Force were stationed at Guam at one point, except for mine. Like, why can't my parents be stationed at Guam?
Guam's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I've been there. I love it. Like, honestly, I love going to Guam. It's gorgeous. Oh, gosh. It's probably my favorite of the Pacific Islands I've been to. But I've only been to, like, 3. So, yeah. Then, next week in Heat 5, we have American Samoa, California, Guam, Idaho, Illinois, Maryland, Michigan, Missouri, New Mexico, North Carolina, and Vermont.
So, I'm finally going up, you guys. California's like, I have a feeling they put us in Heat... It's me and Snoop, and I have a feeling they put California in Heat 5, not even because of the quality of the song, but because of people like me and Snoop.
Cool people? I
don't know. I'm just gonna say, we very much do believe in holistic medicine. I'm not going any further than that. But
I've got some holistic medicine in the other room.
I love holistic medicine,
yeah. Wow. And then, like, Michigan. Maryland is Cisco. I just can't even.
Cisco's from Maryland? Like,
he's from, like, Baltimore, I think. He's either from Baltimore or PG County. He's got Baltimore and PG County energy. That sounds really bad.
But my question is though, it's like maybe over 20 years since Cisco's last like a hit. What has he been working on in just the amount of time that he has gone?
R&B. He's still going strong. He just isn't popular in the radio with where.
All right, Cisco. Once again, DMV R&B.
Yeah.
Would love that. I would love that. Bring it.
Yeah. I don't know. Is Vermont going to sing a song about maple syrup and guns? Sounds like Vermont's energy. Oh, Michigan. I'm sorry. I have disrespect for Michigan at the same time, though. Okay, so, I mean, like, the state, not the person. I have no idea what the song's going to be. But, yeah, that's our kind of thoughts on the American Song Contest. Because I watched Eurovision in concert.
Yeah.
I don't really have any more additional takeaways from that. Basically, everything, like, Pia Maria sounded better in Amsterdam than she did. She is improving, so I am happy to see that. I want to see her improve more. Just looking down the list, Slovenia was there. It was our first Slovenian show since the national final.
And we're actually going to be analyzing that song today, you guys.
I know, and it sounded good. The kids were great.
There was I could have sworn there was one performance that I remembered stood out to me like in a way that absolutely surprised me. Which one was that? Okay, let me just say Finland is like, if they qualify, it's because of the televote. Just point blank, because that was just horrendous. That was hilariously bad. I'm sorry, like I didn't even feel bad. I was laughing. That's it.
Genuinely, sir, you should know better.
It's like, you can't run around the stage with this high belt kind of song, because then no notes will sound good.
You can if you know what you're doing. He should know. He's been doing this long enough that shouldn't have been like that.
Exactly. Like, this is not your first gig. You are not Pia Maria. You are not LPS. You are a polished performer. Pick it up.
Oh my gosh. I would be embarrassed. I'm in my 40s. I'm being shown up by, like, children. Like, literal children.
I think you and I use the same eyeliner, too.
A literal band who missed...
Made of children.
A little band who missed preview parties. They were at prom. Yeah.
Why are they kicking your ass? Why are they kicking your ass? Oh, here's the thing I was going to say.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
But it's all good. No. Basically, yes, LPS, they gave us what needed to be gave. The Rasmus had an itinerary. They read the itinerary and they just didn't go off the itinerary when they jumped on stage. And that's, I mean, if we, like, I know, like, it's not great to talk about, like, old national final, like, artists in comparison to the Eurovision act that's selected. But imagine if this were Bess. Imagine if this were Cyan Kicks, Isaac Sane. A lot of the other acts in UMK would have given us a more polished performance. And that's just because they're just better performers.
Is he jet lagged? Did he go back to Finland?
That better be the reason why.
Did he go back to, because he lives in Hawaii. So, like, did he go back to Hawaii? Oh, God, your face. Did he go back to Hawaii when he, like, won UMK, and then he's just been hanging out in Hawaii until this month?
Maybe, potentially. I see how that's a possibility, because, like, I mean, jet lag, I would love that as an excuse, because it is a thorough excuse, and I believe it.
Like, honestly, like, with Pia Maria, the delegation said that she had COVID before. COVID's not a joke. Like, people with long-haul
It is not a joke, you guys.
People who catch COVID, I have a friend who caught COVID in the beginning. She's still sick from it. Like, she's not contagious or anything, and she's testing negative now, but her hair is still falling out, and she's still having trouble breathing. Yeah. Like,
it was like maybe 2 weeks after I had COVID that I still had the hoarse voice, and I still had, like, all the fatigue, and I had a very, like, mild case of it. So it's very serious, you guys, and I do believe that she had COVID. It just sounded like, yeah.
And, like, it's a hard song to sing live. Because that song is fast, and that song is high. And that song is one of those songs that requires a clear vocal. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's one of those ones that you have to sing perfect or else it sounds bad.
She still showed up.
She
She
still showed
still showed
up. She
up.
did what she's improving. So shout out to her. Like we know we talked about her vocal not being the best before, but she still showed up. She still did what she needed to do, and she's showing improvement. So I'm
Pete Maria,
and
love you. Let's go bowling, girl, or something.
bowling.
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, like because of that, I'm gonna defend the fact that she's improving. But Laurie, you are in your 40s, sir.
You're in your 40s. You have so many hits. You have
You've been
so many
doing
tracks
this.
that have millions of streams.
Yeah,
This hurts. This
it
just hurts to
hurts,
watch.
and it's one of those things. Like I guess you showed up. Like yeah. Anyways, those are my thoughts about Eurovision in concert. Everyone else was good. No notes
Here's
about anyone
but
else.
here's my thoughts about Eurovision in concert. They gave the Czech Republic and Denmark the same staging. They gave them the same staging.
I mean, yeah. Well, it's a preview party. It's not about all that.
I know, like that's just an Easter egg, you guys. If you take a look back at it, you'll be like, wait, like they didn't even switch the file out. Like this is a GIF, isn't it? And you're like,
oh my gosh.
they just kept the same GIF for 2 songs, but it's okay. I love it. Great job, guys.
Oh my gosh. So, do you want to go ahead and okay? So, let's go ahead and talk about criteria. The criteria, because we're gonna start talking about the
Yes.
songs here. So, do you want to go ahead and say
The criteria list.
mhm.
Okay, so you guys, in case you haven't been briefed yet, in these last streams heading into the contest, we are taking a closer look at each of the Eurovision songs, depending on what pot they're in, plus a member of the Big Five. So in this review, we're going to be talking about Albania, Croatia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Serbia, Slovenia, and Spain. So pretty much the biggest chunk of the Balkans, and the things that we're going to be looking at for each of the songs include lyrical content. So how well do we enjoy the lyrics? Do we think the lyrics are effective? Production and genre. Those two things kind of blend into each other. What do we think is interesting about the production? What genre does it fit into? Bleeding also into unique elements. So is there something in the song that we feel sets it apart from other songs in the lineup? How well can it be performed live? That's a question that we weren't always able to answer, but we can answer a lot more now because of the live performances we've received.
Yeah.
Would we stream the song? Simple yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Would the song qualify for the final? A not so simple yes or no. But we can talk about that.
Yeah. Exactly. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into talking about songs here in a second. I'm just pulling up some of our rankings from previously. Didn't have that open because my mouth hurt and I didn't really do a lot of prep today. Let me tell you.
Take some Advil.
I have some ibuprofen. I'm gonna take it a little bit. It doesn't really hurt. It's more like just uncomfortable, and my lip is still numb.
I hate having teeth work done. It's a pain.
Yeah. But that's how it goes. When you live in a country that doesn't have universal health care and you lose your insurance, you gotta get a bunch of stuff done.
We're on the struggle bus a lot more often than it looks, you guys, and it's because of the country we live in. It's because of this country.
I knew I wouldn't go that far, but I'm gonna just go ahead and pull up our rankings thus far, real quick. Switch over to this one. Oh, that transition's so beautiful. All right, so semifinal 1 qualifiers thus far are on the screen. You guys look at them. They're 2 different sets. Basically, Jordan and I agree on the Netherlands, Austria, Lithuania, Moldova, Norway, Armenia, and Ukraine. Ukraine are the ones we agree on. Our differences are, I think Denmark's going to qualify, and that Armenia is going to qualify, is what Jordan thinks. That's our biggest difference between the two. So we've got a couple more slots there before we have to rework some stuff. Let's see. And now that we have live performances, it's a little different. So I'm going to switch over to this one now. And then we have, from semifinal 2, the qualifiers that Jordan has are Ireland, Estonia, Poland, Australia, Sweden, Finland, and Georgia. I agree with him for the most part. We do not agree, however, on what do you have? Estonia. I thought I had Estonia as a qualifier too. I do. Okay, we don't. I pulled Ireland out of my qualifiers list. Last week.
I remember we talked about that last stream. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we don't agree on Ireland anymore. And then in the Big Five, we have Jordan thinks the UK and France are on the left-hand side, and that Germany's going to be on the right-hand side. The only one so far we've talked about of the Big Five I think is going to be on the left-hand side is France. I want to change it around because I think the UK has it together better than I thought they did.
Okay.
But right-hand side right now I have UK and Germany listed. So I might move. I'm thinking about moving the UK over. So that's kind of where we are going into talking about our songs. So we're going to kick it off with Albania.
Yay!
You got your flag. Okay, Albania. It is going to be the song Sekret by Ronela Hajati. And let's talk about, oh my gosh, just whipping that out. Whipping that out nice and high. All right. So, lyrical content of Sekret. Do you want to start off? Honestly, the first time I watched the music video was like, let Ronela get that dick, please. Like, why are we denying her? She deserves it.
She openly asked for it on stage.
The lyrics don't matter as far as I'm concerned here. This is not a song where lyrical content is a necessity. The lyrics are...
It's perfect the way it is.
The lyrics are like a chip to get that dip in your mouth, you know? You like the dip more than the chip? Yeah, no. That...
Perfect analogy. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, no. Like, I don't know what else to say besides lyrics don't matter here. It's about the vibe. It's about the mood. Mood's good. Vibe's good. I love it. Like,
I'm going to make a claim. This might be the best performing songs from Albania since Seuss, you guys.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be. Like, I can't imagine it not being. Going to sail through easily to the final.
Yep.
Like, the song's not even in my top 10 for the year. But, like, it's gonna sail through. It's a banger. Like, I like it. Like, it's just not my personal top. Production-wise, great production. This sounds expensive. This sounds sleek.
Really expensive.
This sounds polished. Like, it just sounds really good. And you get you get everything you tune into Eurovision for in this one song. You get your woman with a great voice just belting it. You get your traditional elements. You get your dance break. You get your bop. Everything you want in a Eurovision song
Vocal
all
moment.
In one package.
It's all there. It is all there, you guys.
Like, check. Yes. Ronela knew what she was doing. Yeah, no, this is... Like, I don't know what to say because it's like everything about this song is already perfect, basically.
I mean, yeah, like... I feel like you did cover a number of points in production and genre just talking about that, and I completely agree. Like, this is just polished, it's professional, it's well done, it's dancey, it's 3 minutes of just fun.
Exactly. It's 3 minutes of what you want in a Eurovision song. Like, this is what you want in a Eurovision song. So you're getting the whole show in one song. That's why I think it's such a great opener. Because you sit down, you're like, oh yeah, Eurovision's on, even if, like, you're casual. Oh, right, I'm going to say the Eurovision like I'm British. The Eurovision's on tonight. Let's watch it. And this is your opening song. You're like, oh, yes, the Eurovision is on tonight. Like, everything you want in one package. Like, in
a threatening way. Like, this is a song that will do well, you guys. Like, it will do well. I almost have no doubts in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, like, 100%. There's no way this does not do well. At all. Like, it's gonna... And, like, with Albania, I don't think they're gonna win with this song. But with Albania, their biggest thing is getting to the final. That's like a win for them. Excuse me. But even then, they've been doing really well the last few years. Like,
They can aim higher. They can aim way higher than
Albania,
that.
start aiming for that very tippy top. Like, start aiming for that straight up win-win. Like, I think that, like, you guys are stable now. And so I think maybe that's why we got this coming out of Festival e Kingas. Because if it was 2 years ago, this wouldn't have won.
Oh no, yeah.
No, it would not have won at all. But yeah, like oh my gosh, yes.
It's everything it needs to be.
And then
unique elements, dirty beat. It has a nice dirty beat.
Oh, that's a beat you shake your butt to. That's a beat you grind to. Like, that's a beat that...
You make bad decisions, too.
Yes. Even completely sober, you make some bad choices to that beat.
Yeah.
100%.
Giorgio, you said had something to say?
Yeah, Giorgio says she hired the most popular Albanian dancer for the staging. So I have so much confidence in this that is in that as well. Yes. Like I like the fact they went with an Albanian person to do the staging too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm liking that you're choosing to stay local because why not highlight local talent? It is it the same? Do we know if it's the same person who did the staging at Festival i Kinges?
I'm not sure actually. I haven't taken a look yet.
I don't know because only like people who do staging I know are like the people everyone knows who does staging.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like bring it. Change up the choreography a little bit to suit because with the revamp there are some changes that have come through. So change it up just a little bit. Yeah, like this. This is a banger. Even maybe take the elements from the music video of the boudoir, like just some boudoir babes dancing. Oh yeah, no, this one's great.
If they brought that on stage, then it might be my like performance winner. I don't know.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No notes other than it's perfection.
Yeah.
So the next question is, can it be performed live? Yes.
Oh my goodness. One of the best performers of the year, you guys.
Number one, this is an Albanian song. Has Albania ever given us a bad vocal?
Literally not in history.
Like, I don't know what's in the water in Albania, but Albanians can sing. And even the Albanian diaspora can sing.
Yeah.
Like, look at how many pop girls we have who I'm sure are popular just because they can sing. Who are Albanian. Okay, so the staging's different. So it looks like, this is what Georgios is saying, that she's going to have 4 male dancers. Which I approve of. Give her men. Give her men. She deserves them.
Give her men.
Give her men. Give her, like, nice, greased up, shirtless men. Because that's what Ronela
Make them
deserves.
shiny. Make them shiny.
Yeah. Get some good body oil on them. Make them sparkle.
Some Moroccan oil.
This is when we get to be gross for a little bit.
Just a little bit, just 3 minutes.
Men. I love doing it. And then the next one is, do we stream it? I'm going to say, you pulled out a flag, so I'm going to guess you do. I do because it's Eurovision season. But outside of Eurovision, I don't think I would stream this. Because for me, this, like, the critique I have of this song from Festival i Kinges remains, which is, this is a song that's getting from dance break to dance break more than it is as a song itself. So as an overall performance package, yes, I like this. But as a song itself, just solely as a song, I like it, but it's not a song I would listen to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah, it's like, I love the performance, I love that, but like, I need to have the visual element too to really enjoy this one. So for me personally, I would not stream it.
I personally would. I really, really love it.
Oh yeah. And then we have our next one, which is going to qualify. We already said yes. She's qualified.
Even in the most stacked semifinal we've possibly ever seen, she's qualifying like she's cartwheeling on everybody else. Like
gonna whip her hair helicopter right into that final.
Yeah.
Right into that final. And if she pulls from the pot, second half, close on her.
Close her. Like, send hit, please. Like, pull a send hit, because that's going to be great. That closing the show. And not to mention, it's like one of Italy's like closest neighbors. That's iconic.
Oh, yeah. Because Festival i Kinges is based off of Sanremo. Like, straight up. I think they broadcast Sanremo. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Albania, fantastic, amazing, flawless. Let's go ahead and let's head over to... Are they neighbors? I think they're neighbors. Let's go ahead and head over to Croatia. Oh my gosh. Another prop. I swear, you in the Balkans. So, it's a hoodie?
It has a hood, yeah.
Where did you get that?
I don't know. The same retailer that I got these other flags at, it never said it was going to come with a hood, but it does have a hood, so...
Okay. So we're going to talk about Croatia. Do you want to introduce your favorite here?
You guys, okay, so lyrical content's the first thing
I'm not. Before we get to lyrical content, it is guilty pleasure. by Mia Dimšić. Dimšić? Yeah, Mia Dimšić. So let's talk about guilty pleasure.
No, this shouldn't be anyone's guilty pleasure. It should be a pleasure. It should be a song that you enjoy legitimately. And let's take a look at lyrics. That's the first thing we're going to take a look at. These are my favorite lyrics of the year, you guys. I mean, maybe I need to reassess all of the lyrics of the songs to make sure that that is still my decision, but this is a poem. I went ahead and read the lyrics separately from the tune of the song, from the rhythm of the song. It's executed so well. It has some of my favorite kind of like poetic meter going on, but not even just that. It's like the storytelling quality of it. I can appreciate such a good, well-told story. This is giving me that, and I would say that the lyrics are the strongest feature of the song. And I don't typically listen to music like this, you guys. I don't feel strongly about music like this typically, but I'm all here for Croatia, and I want to say like about a half to 2/3 of the reason why is because of how much I love the lyrics.
Lyrics are great. Like, genuinely speaking, these are some of the best lyrics we have this year.
Mm-hmm.
Did I write any lines in particular? Yeah, like, this is lyrically fantastic. I do like a romance novel, and this is the genre of romance novel that appeals to me the most. I love a cheating housewife romance. Like, that's just my thing. Then, yeah, like, I have no notes to add to your lyric. Everything you say about lyrics, I agree with 100%. If this is American lyric contest, if this was a Euro lyric contest, I could see this winning that, based off lyrics alone. So the lyrics are fantastic. Now, when it comes to production and genre, I wish this was a straight up country song.
It's not there. It is not there, though.
It's like, it's really pop, and I don't think this works. Like, I don't think the marriage of the lyrics and how they're executed marry as well with the genre the song is sitting in.
Okay.
There's like a hint, like a little whisper of country, like, hey, look at me.
It's the breath that she takes at the end, just country.
It's like a little whisper of it there, but it's mostly pop. And I think that, like, if it was straight up country, it'd stand out more as well in the lineup. We have a few Guitar Girl songs this year, and that's holding it back. But, like, as a song itself, focusing on it, it's like focusing on the song. It's fine. Like, the production, there's not an issue with the production. It's a pop song. Those two things are obvious and married to each other well there.
Yeah. And kind of just feeding off of that a little bit, one thing that kind of was able to draw me away from the fact that it has a pop identity was it kind of sounds like it could be a Norah Jones song, if you think about it.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
It kind of gives Norah Jones, and I mean, like, technically counted as pop, but so soft that it feels like it does deserve its own kind of, like, category within it. I just might not have the vocabulary to articulate that.
Well, Norah Jones is a jazz singer. Like, it's giving, like, vocally, she's singing in a very jazz style, like Norah Jones is. And the music itself is very jazzy, too. Which I can see, like, this going into that. Like, I think she has a song, like, called Run Away With Me. Like, Run Away With Me in the Night. Like, one of the second album songs I'd have to look at. I think that's what it's called. But, yeah, I can see it being that as well. But, like, with the production here, it's just, like, this soft pop production, which I think is holding back the song's full potential.
Okay,
Because even if, like, let's take a look at, like, Carly Rae Jepsen's Run Away With Me. Even with that, that's a pop song, but that's a bombastic pop song.
Yeah.
And so it's taking you somewhere that's a strong emotion. Lyrically, there's strong emotions in this song, but musically, there's not a strong emotion with the music itself, if that makes sense. I think that's one of those things that's what's holding me back from going, oh yeah, like, if this had different production on it, I do think that Croatia would be sailing through to the final. But with the way the production is now, it's kind of holding back the song. And that's not to say, like, every single song that's a pop, like, any song about this topic has to be bombastic in any way. You could do this softly. But with the lineup and comparing the lineup through, because it's like, I like the song itself, but as a competitive entry, there's something holding it back.
Yeah. I do sadly see what you mean by that.
Okay, so what's the next thing? Unique elements.
There's maracas in the Croatian version of the song. I mean lyrics, like I want to say that's
Yeah,
probably the most unique thing about it. It's just lyrical content.
lyrically, this song stands out very, very well, and
Yeah.
yeah, like the fact that it stands out so well lyrically is a positive.
Hmm.
And I would agree with you, like that lyrically, this stands out. Now, as far as can it be performed well live? Yes, of course it can.
It can be. Hmm.
Now, do we stream it? I say yes. I know you do. You've got your flag
And the
out.
Croatian version. And I want a 10-minute version, you guys. I want a 10-minute Mia's version.
Why
Like that's
not
how strongly I
stop? Why
feel.
stop at 10 minutes? Go for like a full 2 hours.
Actually, give me like a full 3 hours, just like for the whole grand final run of
Oh
the song. It's just guilty pleasure. I'm good with that.
my
Croatia,
gosh.
Vatska, baby.
And then do you think it's going to qualify? I'm going to just go ahead and say no.
I really hate the fact that I have to say this, but no, I hate that I can't give enough faith into the song to see it qualifying. But there are so many songs that are similar to it, and the semifinal is just so stacked. Like it doesn't help. It really doesn't help. But I will be the one carrying this flag in the arena because I am here to support Mia and the song.
Yes.
Hmm.
Now let's go ahead and move on to talking about Montenegro with
Hmm.
the song Breathe by Vladana. And I'm happy we had the interview Jorge did. Link in
Yes.
the description box to that interview because that's going to help illuminate some things with the song itself and it kind of help me with coming up with our feelings about it. So,
Hmm.
um, let's go ahead and start with lyrical content here. I'm going to go ahead and say that the verses I think are pretty strong.
Yes. The
And
verses are strong. Yes.
those verses tied with the interview that we had with Vladana on our site kind of bring us up with this like melancholic marriage of oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I had notes and I didn't even say them right. But yeah, like the verses I think are super strong. Like I had specifically written like the pain will go away, they say, in the clouds foam. You'll keep the things to fear their smell just to make you feel warm or just to make you warm. So like with that opening line, we're getting that, you know, situation of death and someone
Hmm.
passing that you're close to. And then in the clouds of foam, what happens? Foam dissolves, you know,
Hmm.
not kind of tying in well. And like scents are tied really close to memories. So when you're getting like having a smell of someone who's familiar and that you miss, you know, you're kept warm by that memory. So I think that that
Hmm.
works really beautifully there. Um,
I do enjoy that as well. Yeah.
And then there's another line of the next verse. It starts with, "Go to sleep and dream that we will be reborn in our souls to find themselves again in the sweat from the storm." I'm sorry, in the sweat of the storm. So again, it's very poetic.
Very
With that
much. Yes.
second verse, that last line about the sweat of the storm, that's a little English as second language, but it works. There's still
It
like
works
there,
definitely.
it still works. There's still devices happening here, like poetically, that function really well to carry over the song.
Hmm.
Um, with Breathe, I really do think that lyrically the verses are much stronger than the chorus.
Oh, they are polar opposites. I actually resent the lyrics in the chorus. It feels like each line in the chorus has like an exclamation point after each word. Like I don't know how to describe it other than like there's no one single strong line in the chorus because every line's supposed to be the strongest line. And when you do that in a song that's like this poetic in the verses, it can really drag it down. So that is
Yeah.
something that is my biggest critique about it. I just do not like the lines in the chorus.
And like I don't know, maybe if this was not in English, it wouldn't be as bold. Because like if we're reading the lyrics separate and I don't understand what is being said as it's being said, it wouldn't bother. Like I really do wish the song was not in English.
The whole song, honestly, I feel like would have been amazing in Montenegrin.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful language too. Like I just
Hmm.
like we
Very
don't
much.
have we don't really have something like that, you know, this year.
Hmm.
Now with production and genre, it's a ballad. It's a well produced ballad.
Very Balkan. Like it does have like a Balkan characteristic to it,
You
you
keep
guys.
saying very Balkan. It's
I
Balkan-y.
am.
Like it's not. I need more Balkan. I need more Balkan in it.
That would be nice, but it does have it like it
It
has a
has
good
hints. It has
enough.
hints of it, which I'm into, but I want more of that Balkan because
Yeah.
I love that sound, like that
Mhm.
where you go, oh right, we're in the Balkans now. Like
Mhm.
I love that sound, and the only place I get that sound is Eurovision. I need
Mhm.
my yearly dosage, and we don't really have it this year. I'm like on a half prescription. I
Yeah.
want full blown. No, like it's got elements, and if it was full blown Balkan, I think I would feel more strongly towards it. But where we're at now, I have
Mm.
these beautiful verses with gorgeous poetry in them, a chorus that's kind of letting down on on the verses that are in the song, and I've got like a hint. I've got like a little bit of Balkan guitar, just a little bit.
Yeah, it only did last a couple seconds.
And that's the unique element, is that whisper, that little breeze of it coming through. I'm like, okay, can I do some more of that, please? Like some more of that there. Also, as a
Mm.
unique element, I want to say Vladana's styling. I know that we're just talking about
She's
the song.
so I love her styling. I love how she's not afraid to be like horizontal and vertical, like with her outfits. Like she loves taking on all kinds of just different shapes. It's
Okay,
amazing.
so I,
Like ditto.
yeah, no, okay, comparing it to a Pokemon, all right. Like Giorgio says in the comment, Vladana's styling is fabulous. It is.
Mhm.
She's so
It
like
is.
just like, and it's daring and it's interesting and there's cool structural elements going on, and every outfit she has at these pre-shows is a banger. Like I can't wait to see what she's gonna wear on the stage in May. I'm so excited for
Hmm.
that. Like I really do like her styling, and it's like I love it when artists are bold and daring like that because we don't get that a lot. But like
Mm-mm.
in the fashion industry and in things like with avant-garde work, you have people who make this sort of thing, but people don't, like, you don't see it very often. So whenever I see someone wearing something with a lot of structure and like a lot of shape to it, that's not like a natural body shape you would expect, I love it. I eat that up. Like
Yeah.
that's my thing. Like give me like, and it's like colorful Gareth Pugh. I bring him up because he's like the name I think of the most when I think of this sort
Hmm.
of thing, even though like this is nothing like what he would make. Or like, here's a better designer that's well known. Comme des Garçons. Um,
Hmm.
it's very much like something that would be made by, I think it's a husband and wife team. It's who make that, who own that brand, and like there's a lot of structure, there's a lot of color, there's a lot of interesting elements happening, and I want to see that. Like, oh, I love it. Like that's
Yeah,
my.
not just a suit, not just a dress, you guys.
Mhm.
Like Vladana and her team have decided that we're going to Italy, we can step it up. We can be avant-garde.
I think
And
that's
that's
just a,
exactly what
yeah,
everyone should be doing.
and like I love to see it. I'm so happy to see someone doing something with that. Um,
Hmm.
Now next thing is going to be, can it be
Oh,
performed
well,
well
can it,
live? Yes.
I got a couple things here.
Oh,
So
sorry.
it can be performed well live, but one thing is just like when she goes up in the high notes, sometimes she opens her mouth in a way that it kind of sounds a little cacophonous, like to the note that she's singing. She has a gorgeous voice, but it's kind of like if you remember UMK last year, uh, Kele Masoitan by that girl. I forget her name already, but like how she had like a really raspy, like deep voice in the studio cut. But when she
Hmm.
started singing, it was like this. Like,
Yeah.
like it's just like you
Like
can
her
hit the notes. Just don't do
transition,
that with your mouth.
like her
Just don't do that
transition
with your
from
mouth,
her
please.
chest voice to her head voice is getting stuck in her throat.
Yeah, and I mean like that's a pretty like easy fix. It's like kind of like a mouth thing because I hear you hit the note. Like
Hmm.
I don't hear a challenge when you hit the note, but it's just like the acoustics of it could be improved.
Well, when you're singing high, you want to be able to open up your throat. Um,
Mm.
it's the same like when you're playing instruments. Hey, like when you play an instrument as well, you really want to open up your throat. My teacher used to say it's like you're putting hot mashed potatoes in your mouth, and you don't want to
Okay.
burn the roof of your mouth, but you want to swallow the hot mashed potatoes. So that's how you're kind of imagining your throat. I know it sounds weird, but
Ah.
it's like it's one of those things where I, with that in mind, and now know, okay, this is how I have to hold my mouth. I have to go, and I can do it. Like
Mm.
like that's basically what I think of like when I play sax or when I play kind of like clarinet. Like that's what I'm thinking when I'm playing. If I have to go, especially if I have to go really high, I have to remember I have to get like breath support up, open up my throat a lot and make sure I'm coming through the instrument like I should be. And so, like, yeah, and like if you don't do that, you can get strains kind of in the throat. And I think that's what, like, that transition might be what you're trying to describe.
Okay, maybe, yeah. Like, no, yeah, I feel like that is, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to like think of words to make things happen. But I think she's like she hits the note every time.
She does.
Her lower registers, like those lower notes on her, are so warm and so full. It's like, you kind of sit into them and you're like, oh yeah, this is what's happening right now.
In my opinion, they could have kept the whole song in that register and it would have been just as strong.
Okay, yeah, it would have stood out. Then what do we think about? Do we stream it?
No.
No, I don't stream it either. When it's one of those ones that when it's on, I enjoy it, but I don't really seek it out personally.
Same.
And do you think it's going to qualify?
Is it in semi 2 or semi 1?
It's in
I forget.
semi 1, I think. It might be in semi 2. Let me double check. I don't know semis.
Because if it's in semi 2, they got Serbia there, and the answer might be a little bit more easily a yes, but then again, I don't feel. I think, like, just my short answer is no. For my short answer.
My short answer is also no. And even without, like, because the thing is with the Balkan countries, none of them are ever starting at 0.
Yeah.
They don't have to play catch up. They've already got points coming in because it's like, what do you expect? You have a country that was a part of another country for a long time, and they've only been separate for a while. Okay, Georgios, let us know it's in semi 2.
Okay, thanks, Georgios.
Yeah, so
I mean, higher chance of qualifying, but I still feel like it's a no.
I think it's a no as well.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go ahead, and I agree with that. So those are our feelings on North Macedonia. No, I'm sorry. That's oh my gosh. Those are our feelings on Montenegro. We're gonna go on now to North Macedonia, and the song "Circle" is by Andrea. So let's go ahead. These scissors, I swear, I'm gonna like fly to California and take your scissors. So North Macedonia lyrical content. Do you want to start off, or should I?
I'll start off. This is a fight, you guys. Like this is a girl who's fighting with her significant other. That's what the lyrics are giving. I mean, they rhyme. They have a meter, but this is a fight. Like this is an argument happening, and that brunt of it is causing me to not really access the song at all. And I don't feel like I've accessed it at all, and it's because of just how incendiary and maybe not incendiary, but of how just, I don't know, it kind of feels like you're having a private conversation that you just decided to broadcast for the world, kind of a deal. You know, it's like you're fighting with someone.
Neighbor, like you can hear your neighbors arguing with each other. Like,
yeah, like I can hear you through the wall. Like
I know my next door neighbor is arguing with his wife because he mows his lawn. Like,
oh,
this dude mows his lawn like 6 times a week. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know what's happening.
I want you to check up on them.
Yeah. But yeah, like lyrically, it's about a toxic relationship. It's 100% what this is about. I mean, I just want a healthy conversation. I have had that say this come out of my mouth before. Get it right and fix the situation. Everything is crumbling down beneath us. We run around in circles. Yeah. Like you said, it's like a relationship that's dissolving where these two people do not need to be together at all. And it's about a woman being gaslit. That's what's happening here.
That is what it's about, yes.
And then like there's lines where it's like, don't call me baby. I'm like, okay, yeah, don't call her baby. Then can you stop calling me baby? I've made up my mind already. That's strongly like, I'm leaving you, and you keep saying, no, baby, don't leave me. No, you two do not need to be together. Separation. Keep it apart. Like, that's what this is. For me, the weakest thing about the lyrics is it's something called a forever. I heard, if you listen to the podcast Switched on Pop, they talk about pop music, and they use the term forever chorus to refer to a song that just is it's basically all chorus, and that's what this is.
Oh.
It's
I
all
like that
chorus. It's
term.
forever
I
chorus.
like
It's
that term.
all chorus, which suits the topic of like you're in this relationship that's not good, and you're just going around and
Circles.
exactly
It.
you're just going around in circles for
Yeah.
3 minutes, and that's what I'm getting lyrically here. So because of the fact the lyrics just keep repeating, I don't think they're super strong, but the emotion is still coming through with that repetition because it's suiting the topic of the song.
I I guess when I look at it that way, it does make a lot of sense. So like the concept of circles, so the concept of the fact that like you can't really escape this gaslighting relationship, that does make sense, and therefore like I do see it have like I do hold it in a bit higher of a regard now that you mentioned that a little bit.
Yeah, like that topic suits the lyrics that we're looking at and the fact that it's a forever chorus. Now as far as production and genre go,
I'm looking, I'm searching. Where is it? I cannot find it. Where is it? Where's the hook?
because
Where's the
it's a
hook?
yeah, because it's a forever chorus, you need some kind of a hook to keep you in.
¿Dónde está el hook?
Okay, great. It's like donde es las yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, no, agreed. There needs to be a hook and there needs to be more variation in the production because we need our resolution to come via production since everything is happening lyrically is the same thing over and over again. So that does drag it down. Now with the production, there are some variations in it, but there's not enough variation to give us a complete story.
I don't like strings and trap together. I don't like the fact that this has a trap beat. I mean, like there's another song in this, like in the songs that we're reviewing, that does have a trap beat, but it doesn't fit with every song, and I do feel like it's shoehorned in too many times. I bring this up every stream. I get that. I know that people are probably tired of hearing me talk about that, but it just doesn't fit, you guys. Like I mean, we probably disagree here. I do not think the trap beat fits with this because if you're going to employ a trap beat, then it should be rap, then it should be R&B. There's an intention why songs are constructed that way, why they need to have a trap beat. It's very genre-based thing. You can't just put it into like you can't just cram electric guitar into every song and then say that it's like not like a rock-based like genre anymore. No, like there's too much influence that a trap beat carries. And the fact that like it's this on top of the strings that are meant to harmonize with the like it just doesn't feel all together. It doesn't feel all together. It might just be errors in my own taste, but it doesn't I don't get it. I really don't get it, and I feel like it's way too much.
So when I hear this song, I actually do hear an R&B song, and that's the way I don't think the trap beat bothers me.
You do?
I hear it as R&B. It's giving the vocal.
Hello? Well, I mean, yeah, I guess like it is.
The vocalization.
Is it though? No, hold on. Do I agree with that? I don't think I agree.
Okay.
No, but please do like explain your point though. Yeah.
The vocal like the way that Andrea sings, it has a very strong R&B kind of a vocal to it. For me, like when I hear this, if we change around the production a little bit, I can see this being an R&B song. And when I say R&B, I'm talking about specifically like that early 2000s R&B.
Which artist?
I'm thinking Destiny's Child album cut. Yeah, look at me like that. I don't care. Look at me like that. I listen to a lot of that.
Okay. Honestly, you probably know Destiny's a lot better than I do because I was an infant. Like I was a toddler. So.
Yeah, no, I used to only listen. Like I used to listen to a lot of Destiny's Child as a kid. So this I can see this like as an album track off of like their Writings on the Wall album specifically, which I think is their second or third one. Like this, it's giving me that like vocally, I am hearing R&B. I like the song. I don't know how to say it besides I like the song. I do think the trap beat works for it. Because think about it, it's a trap beat. You're trapped in this toxic relationship. Oh my gosh.
Dude, oh my god, you did not just say that. You did not just say that. You did not just make that the excuse.
I love your reaction to it, and I'm so happy I did that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I don't mind it.
At least someone like said that, so I'm not just over here like hammering down on the song.
Yeah, no. I like it. I wish there was more variation in it. Like, once the beat kicks in, it kind of stays one note, so I would like more variation in that. Other than that, yeah, no. It's kind of how I am with the production and genre there. And with the unique elements, I think the most unique element is going to be the genre.
Circles.
Circles? Okay. Now, next one is going to be, can it be performed live?
I'd say pretty
yes.
well. Pretty well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Especially now that we've gotten actual live performances. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then with the next one is, do we stream it? I say yes, I do stream this one.
I tried. I tried. I've given it a couple tries, actually. I still can't do it. I still can't.
Okay. And do we think it's going to qualify? No.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't. I just think that because of the construction of the song and how it's a forever chorus, it lacks the competitive edge to go ahead and advance.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead now and move on to our next song. We're talking about Serbia, constructed with Incorpore Sano.
Y'all been washing your hands okay?
Yeah. I actually washed my hands right before we came on the stream. They were covered in tanning oil. So, yeah, my hands were covered in tanning oil. So, yeah, like, do you want to kick off lyrical content, or should I?
You go ahead, because I feel like I might agree with you.
Okay. So lyrically, this focuses on physical health as a relation to attractiveness. Mm-hmm. It doesn't focus on the artist as a person. It focuses on the artist as a commodity. And in late-stage capitalism, aren't we all commodities for the capitalist agenda? I'm sorry, I'm not going to go into strips.
Write a dissertation. Like, that is a dissertation right there.
It's very much that. It's giving me that sort of a thing and that sort of a vibe. Like, as you think about it, there's artists who people focus on what they look like way too much. And they don't focus on who that artist is as a person. For example, my beloved Lizzo. If you go in the comment section on anything Lizzo posts, it's all, why are you so fat? 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 It's nothing about who she is as an artist. And, like, critiques she get are all focused on the way she looks rather than the way she sounds and the music she produces. I think my father did not like her music. He was like, I don't like this. It doesn't sound good to me. I'm like, okay, well, you're wrong, Dad, but that's okay. And, like, yeah, that sort of a thing. So it's, like, focusing on that and treating the artist as a commodity so their mental health isn't as important. Let's look at other people. Like, there's well-known musicians who go through mental breakdowns because of the way that the public treats them. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a strong element of that within the song, lyrically speaking, that we should focus on as well.
Yeah. Lyrics, you guys, I don't even want to say it's, like, necessarily, like, poetic. It's a narrative. Mm-hmm. Like, this is prose. It's not trying to be, like, pleasant sounding, like, kitschy, like, fun lyrics. No, this is a message. Like, the purpose behind the song is the message, and the lyrics carry that over, and they do it really, really well. These are, again, one of my favorite lyrics of the entire contest, and I say that with my whole chest. Mm-hmm. I love the lyrics. I love them.
I think at one point I'm looking at my notes right now because I kind of, like, write notes as I'm listening to songs. I wrote, what if Mariana Abramovich made Britney Spears' Give Me More? And that's a horrifying thought.
What is that even supposed to mean?
It means something. I don't know what I was writing. Do you know who Mariana Abramovich is?
She's the one who wasn't she in Belvizia? Or am I thinking about someone else?
No, that's not a musician. That's a performance artist. She's a Serbian...
Okay, never mind. Wrong person. Okay, yeah, tell me.
This goes into production. This kind of goes down later. So, she's a performance artist. And the way that Constructor performs this makes me think of her work. She has one called, what is it called? The Artist is Present is the name of one of her pieces, in which it's her staring directly at you. So when you go into she's a performance artist. So when you come into the space, she's sitting at a table, you sit across from her, and she just stares at you. And the way Constructor performs this...
That's high art.
Like, that's the first thing I thought of when I watched the live of this song, is it made me think of her, like, of that piece specifically. And, like, when you watch other people do this, like, you can find videos of people going into the space and watching this performance. it's her staring at them, and some people start crying, some people start laughing. It kind of comes across as that. So it makes me think of specifically the woman who starts crying as Mariana Abramovic is staring her down. You can like find parts of her, like her. That's like kind of the piece I'm thinking of the most. There's another one she did where she gets naked and lays out a bunch of different things in front of her. Like there's a rose, there's like a little whip, there's a gun, there's a lot of different things, and it's just her standing there naked in a room, and people touching her or whatever with her.
I think I remember that actually.
Yeah, like that's probably the thing she's the most famous for. I cannot remember what the name of the piece is specifically. But it has that same element of it where she herself as a woman, her body is the commodity, her body is the piece of art, and it's people wanting to do as they wish with her body. And
which so reflects in this song, weirdly
exactly.
enough.
That's why I wrote the note I wrote, which was, if Mariana Abramovic made Britney Spears' Give Me More. This is performance art. This belongs in a museum.
We don't get an act like this at Eurovision very often, you guys. And as a matter of fact, I don't know like a performance art piece that we've gotten that was like at this caliber of like intellectual requirement. This is a very complex issue, very complex song.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like that's where I'm coming from with this. Is like I view this as an art piece. I can think of like Telemovish is the closest thing we've had to this, where it's another art piece. My thing is, with it being an art piece, is it going to connect down? Like, is it going to connect with people? You know what I mean? Because if I could play for you like Balkan was like, I'm trying to think of other things, but like I could put performance art for you, and you're not going to always get it. You know what I mean? Like in the general public, isn't going to get it. I'm from DC, so if I go to the Smithsonian, we have a museum that's kind of like the weird art museum, and no one's ever in there. Like it's my favorite one. Because in the basement, they have, like, this room where it's like you're inside of a womb. I don't know how else to describe it. But, like, you're sitting in this dark room, and there's not supposed to be any light at all. And I can just sit in there for, like, a good hour. And then it gets ruined because some dumb tourist wanders in with their, why is it dark in here? And turns on the flashlight on their phone. Even though it says don't turn on your light because it ruins the piece.
Yeah, not everyone has the same, like, intellectual capability of being able to intercept art the way that it should. So that is something that could be quite worrying. I that's where
I see an isolation there. Like when it comes to can it be performed well live? Yes, I have a soap. Iconic. That's up there with
one of my favorite lines of the entire season. One of the best things said the entire season.
It's better than fire. It's like I have a soap. Do we stream it? I don't stream it personally because I need to have the visual element too. It's like how I feel about
Albania. I do stream it because like at my workplace I wash my hands a lot, so like it just kind of justifies that. I don't know. Yeah. I'm literally biti zdravaing like at a sink every day.
And then do we think it's going to qualify?
Yes. I'm actually going to say yes with more certainty than people anticipate. I feel like this is actually a pretty solid qualifier.
I disagree strongly. Because like I said, I can sit in a museum and I can sit there and watch a performance piece in that museum and I can see people not getting it. At the museum, there's a giant sign that says, do not turn on your lights. No phones in area. People still wander in there and they still ruin it.
And you think that's going to happen with this entry?
I think that's a huge piece of it. Is like people don't get performance art. Your average person sitting down and watching the show are not necessarily going to get it. Now, Serbia has lots of friends. Like I said, the Balkans are never at zero. They're always starting off at a point where they've got more friends. It's not like a Telemovish situation where Portugal does not have friends. They're
isolated. Yeah.
Portugal, like their only friend is maybe Spain. And even then, Spain's like, I don't know what they're doing over there. That's my weird little brother. So if Serbia qualifies, I see it being because they have friends. I like this. I don't want to make anyone think I do not enjoy this song. My issue is we have to remember Eurovision fans are a fraction of a fraction.
Yes.
Is your average person sitting at home, is your average juror sitting at home or sitting in the jury booth going to want this to qualify, like going to vote for this to qualify? Or is it going to be too isolating for them?
I understand the concern there, but like I still stand on the side of yes. I just have I just have a feeling about this one.
Yeah. I mean, you could be right, but my hesitation just always lies with what is your average person going to say? What is your average person going to do?
I mean, that's definitely justified. So, I mean, like, if it doesn't qualify, then that's almost definitely the reason why.
Yeah, like, I can look at something and go, oh, like, I was burned by Telimovic. I'm still bitter. Like, you know what I mean?
That was a diabolical decision.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I don't think the average person who doesn't speak a language related to Serbian is going to be able to have that translate over. And because of that, that's my hesitation with its qualification. You remember it, though. And the way that Constructive performs it is very striking. So, yeah.
It's really hard to follow Hurricane, too. So the fact that we got, like, a performance art piece following Hurricane, I think is just the perfect transition for Serbia. I feel like it would do them pretty well.
Yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens then. But that's my biggest hesitation is just, like, I don't know how this is going to be perceived because it is an art piece.
Yeah, I get it.
From Serbia, we're going to wander on over to Slovenia with the song Disco by LPS.
I'm so happy they went the animation. Okay, like they went the illustration route with the music video. Like we were talking about, like this is like for an anime. Like this is a song like for an anime, or at least that was how I feel. You mentioned that it kind of feels like your teenage band group who really honed in on like older genres and like just slapped with it. And I'm just like yes and yes.
I guess we're gonna start with that part and not necessarily the music video made me so nostalgic. This is something I would have made for a band I like just a song I liked. I would have made a little slideshow music video like this.
It's so wholesome. It's so genuine. I love it. I love it.
It makes me so nostalgic. Also, I love this. Let's talk about lyrics though, because we have a little thing going on. I like the playfulness of the lyric at the same time with being. It's a sad bop, as you would say.
Yeah, it's a sad bop, yeah.
Lyric,
or as Jude York would say, it's dance cry.
Dance cry, sad bop. It's, I think we've brought up Robin every stream. But it's very much giving me dancing on my own. Come on, like, I'm in the corner.
I mean, that's the lyrical subject.
Yeah, that's what the song's about. It's about getting dumped at a disco. So is dancing on my own. I like the playful quality because they name drop the name of the band. I think there's a line like
we're listening to LPS in this disco or something like that. We were in the
disco when LPS performed. Vitro was crooning, so that's a nickname for Philip. He's the singer. He was singing, and I cannot pronounce the keyboardist's name. Jivice screwed up his solo, and that's why you see the keyboardist go like that. It's like there's a playfulness in the lyrical content. Lyrically, it's about getting dumped at a dance. I love a dancey song that has sadness in it. I like that contrast.
So, like, a lot of artists who are adults have not managed to, like, attain that kind of quality that that these teenagers very easily did. Like, they're such natural artists, and I feel like they have quite a bright future ahead of them just because of, like, my introduction to them being this. It's so much fun. The lyrics are so much fun.
Listen to their LP. It's really good.
LP?
They have an LP. It's really good.
Yay!
I would recommend it because, like, they only have like 4 songs, but they're all really good songs. They make me.
I believe it.
They make me really nostalgic. Like, this is like how my friends and I used to hang out. I think they met in the band room. My closest friends I had, and when I was their age, we were all band kids. We met in the band room in middle school. And that middle school class has produced, I think, like 10 band teachers. I want to say from my jazz band days, at least 10 of them are teachers now who they teach music. Like my best friend at the time, they're now a middle school band teacher, who like has perfect. Okay, there's this thing called perfect pitch, which is basically like you can tell what a note is right off the bat. Without any training, they had that. Like, they were able to go, oh, that's this note. So, like, if you wanted an anime theme song, they knew how to compose it. Like, how to write out anime theme songs. And how to do each of the parts.
Based on LPS. I need a whole anime based on LPS and their adventures in high school. Like, I feel like that would just be so much fun, and this is the intro song, you know?
Yeah, no. So, yeah, like, let's talk about production and genre. It's a disco. It's a disco song by high schoolers.
But it's not like big dancey anthemic disco. It's more just like let's have some wine together.
You get drink, you know.
You swirl your glass of wine, kind of.
You can dance and
very
drink at
refined.
The same time. You can dance and drink at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sentimenti in that sense. Like, it has a very candid, gentle disco like aesthetic about it that only comes if you just like absorb the softness of it, but it is still disco.
And like, I'm thinking of something my dad used to say, because my dad's old. That sounds weird. My dad was older. Like, he graduated from high school in the 70s. Like, the late 70s is when he graduated high school. Yeah. And he liked disco music. So, like, his favorite bands were like Earth, Wind, and Fire, and he likes funk music, like with Parliament Funkadelic and stuff like that. So he used to always complain that songs nowadays were too short. Because if you're at the disco, you don't want your song to stop. But the thing is, like, when you're on a disco track, you have the songs that were meant to be danced to tend to be pretty long. We only have 3 minutes at Eurovision, but we're still getting movement here. So we do have the part where you kind of slow down. And that's where you can kind of catch your breath if you were dancing.
The lyrics change there, too. Like,
yeah, the structure changes. It's like, I love that slow down part. It's great. It adds a good variation to the song before it picks up. And the good thing is when you slow down like that, you can end on a higher energy note without bringing your tempo up too high. So
and they pick it up. They pick it up nicely.
They pick it up. It's like, but the thing is that pickup, that tempo doesn't have to increase too much more than the starting tempo at the very beginning. So you can kind of keep your beats per minute in a range that's danceable for most people and a part that's danceable for most and singable as well. So like that way you're not losing that energy when you're ending on a higher energy point, and that bridge where we slow down can really elevate the ending and make it more. Like, this is some really good songwriting, is what I'm getting at. Like, there's some structure and some really, really good songwriting happening here. Watch
your back, Laurie. Watch your back.
There's a lot going on here, which it's just like, they're kids. I don't want to be like, oh, because they're kids. Why are they so good at this? Because it sounds kind of condescending, but they're kids. Why are they so good at this? Like,
no, that's how I feel. Yeah, it's like they're, as far as I know, half of the age of like everyone who like works here at the site, but they're so competent in all of the ways that they made this song sound good. Yeah. What the heck, you know?
Yeah. No, exactly. That's what I'm hearing there. Now, I'm sorry, I'm like lost. We've talked about as far as like unique elements go, it sounds like these. I'm gonna go with grandparents because they're like quite a bit younger than me, so I'm gonna assume like their parents are probably Gen X. Mm-hmm. Yeah, their parents would probably be Gen Xers, and their grandparents would be like boomers. So like, it's got like this. It's like their grandparents. They found their grandparents' disco records, and put them on. And like, yeah, I like this music. It's like I've been there. I've picked up. Like I grew up at my grandparents' house. I listen to music my grandparents used to listen to too. And
it's just well created nostalgia.
It's like, and it's nostalgia for a time way before they were born. Mm-hmm. And like they do it. It's way before I was born too. But yeah, like that nostalgic element to it, I think, is something that makes it really special. And then, do we think it can be performed live? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No problem. Flawlessly. He showed up and made a 45-year-old man look even less like embarrassed a 45-year-old. And then next one is, do we stream it? Yes, we do.
Exactly.
This is my number 2 song of the year. Yeah. It is right.
They deserve it though.
It is right beneath Lithuania for me. Like, once we got this song on streaming, I've been streaming it nonstop. Is
you are on your disco ball roll this year, aren't you?
I am. I actually, I was gonna wear something different than the Eurovision Fam t-shirt, but it's still in the mail. It's going to be getting delivered after the stream, probably. And then we have the next one is, do we think it would qualify? No. We're gonna probably lose this in the semi.
My heart breaks having to say that.
If this qualifies, I'd be so happy. Because the thing is this, I think a lot of people like this, but a lot of people, it's like, doesn't feel competitive, maybe?
Yeah, it's not very competitive. Same category as Croatia, sadly. It's just like, no matter how polished this is, like, it's not trying to compete, and therefore it won't have that asset as we move forward. But I'm still so thankful we have this song. Like, it's so good. It's still so good.
And here's the other thing I'm going to say about EMA. These kids came up through EMA Fresh. So EMA Fresh was, like, it's specifically a contest for young artists who don't really have a lot of music.
Like Giovanni and Sanremo, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. So this song, I remember when it was a demo. You know what I mean? And
you watch them grow up.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, it was like nice seeing them transition from like that, like, and then winning EMA. I like that EMA Fresh structure. We need to keep that in there. And like, I also gonna say another thing about EMA. They were good this year with some like real good throwbacks. Because now you and I were both feeling Hopman's song. And like, I
think that's still my favorite in EMA. I listen to it all the time still.
I know, same here. That was my favorite in EMA as well. These guys were probably second or third for me. But in Eurovision, they're my number 2, easily. I love this. It's so good. And yeah, I don't think it's going to qualify. If by some miracle it does,
I'm going ape-ish in the arena.
I'm going to go lose my mind. I will run up and down the street screaming. Like, it's so good. Now, we have to move on to Spain, who is our big 5. Woo, girl. Yes.
Woo. What a note to end on.
The song is Slow Mo by Chanel. I want to just start off by saying I do apologize to Chanel for how I felt about her song before we got it live.
Me too, girl. I know. Like, we probably apologize this every time the song comes up, but you know what? I am so sorry.
I apologize for everything I said about this being a grinding anthem. Now,
girl. Okay, well, let's talk about it.
Lyrical content. Lyrics don't matter. It's like Albania, though I will say, booty hypnotic, make you want more.
The first time, like, the lyrics don't matter. But I think it's so funny. The first time we heard this song, I heard this girl rhyme "mommy" with Bugatti, and I was like, you are just throwing everything out there, girl. But you know what?
It's like a rap song.
It basically is.
Some weird stuff happening. Lyrical content does not matter here. We're not here for the lyrics. We're here for the show. Production and genre. It's a dance bop, Spanish language dance bop.
Very, very gay flavored.
Gay flavored.
It has a nice gay flavor to it. It does.
I mean, I can see that. Definitely. I feel bad because, like, we're not really saying much about it, but what is there to say besides Chanel? Like, come on. I think she's got, like, a trajectory very similar to J-Lo, only she's a way better singer than J-Lo.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jennifer tried to sustain. Anyway, we can talk about Jennifer.
The reason I compare the two is because Chanel started out as a dancer, and it shows. But she can also hit the notes as she's dancing.
And do some really healthy vocal runs, too, after the dance break.
And, like, how?
God has his favorites. That's why. God has his favorites.
I mean, ESC Viral says Spain is my winner. I see why.
Makes sense. Makes absolutely complete sense. Honestly, being Spanish diaspora, I want to claim this. I want to claim this a little bit. Maybe my last name is Pastor. Maybe like I want to increase the amount of Spanish in my genealogy. But you guys, this is it. This is the best Spanish thing I've ever probably seen since Dancing in the Rain or even Vuelve Conmigo. Like high Spanish art, and this goes up there.
When I claim Spanish, I asked her if my dad was born in Spain. I win.
Your dad's from everywhere in the world, I swear.
No, he was born in Spain. He had Spanish nannies until he was 4, and then they moved to Japan. I remember my grandpa was in the military, so. the U.S. military, so you moved around a lot. But yeah, no, I mean, if we want to play that game, my father was born there, so I can go grab his urn.
My father actually lived in Spain too, so yeah.
Let me go grab his urn real quick and bring him up on the stream.
And dance to slow-mo with it.
Why not? It's not like you should see the stuff we do with that thing. It's so much fun.
I mean, I would live, yeah.
Yeah, no, this song's great. This is like just, it's what you want. You come for a party, you're here for the party. Now, number 4 is what? I'm sorry. What's the number 4 criteria?
How well can it be performed live?
I just wrote yes.
I'm gonna make a claim, at least in the top 2 of performances that are well executed. At the very minimum, top 2. It is what it is. This is the best dance break we've ever gotten in Eurovision. Period. Like, I've never seen a dance break that was this intense, and then had vocals that needed to be served after that, and she's not catching her breath.
Nope.
This is perfect, you guys.
I don't hear breathing.
You don't hear her breathe. Like, she doesn't exist. Like,
okay, we keep joking that Pia Maria. We keep joking that Pia Maria isn't real. Maybe Chanel is also a hologram. Like, it would make sense because she sounds amazing.
Like, how do you hit notes and then keep that choreography up and like with tempo? I don't get it. She just doesn't exist.
Like, she makes it look so easy. Like, she's not working. She's doing it effortlessly. And when you're a pop singer... You can also tell...
Yeah. Oh, continue.
When you're a pop singer, you're putting on a pop performance, it should look effortless. You should make it look easy. Does. And that's what it does. I know it's not easy, but she makes it look like it is. And I'm just... Yeah, Chanel, she's bringing it.
During Benidorm Fest, she mentioned that, like, her biggest musical inspiration was Beyonce.
Yep, I see
it. Exactly. I mean, what does Beyonce give us? Perfect vocals on top of really hard choreography and still serving face?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
We should all aspire to be Beyonce one day.
It is what it is, yeah. We should try. I mean, my back can't handle that, but...
Like, oh gosh, I wonder how Chanel's back is doing. She's carrying the hopes and dreams of Spain on her back. And we know how Spanish Eurovision fans are.
One thing, it's just like... But they gave her so much hate. They gave her so much ish and flack, like, before we got into this, because it was all about Tanchugueras. It was all about Rigoberta. And, like, everybody in Benidorm. So, like, Chanel was like, ooh, who is she? She can't win. And now y'all are backing her?
Yeah.
Spanish cousins, y'all are acting a mess. Again. But it's fine, because you know what? Chanel's our girl.
And honestly, I love her. I'm a fan of hers. She has one song. This is her one song.
I want to go shopping with her. No, I can't afford that.
No, you cannot. I think she's going to have another single probably coming out soonish, though.
I think so, too. No, I think she was in a studio, wasn't she? Like in Miami or something?
Yeah, that's why she's not doing the last pre-party. She's in Miami, which, you know what? I understand.
Hustle!
The weather's going to be... Oh, but she's in Miami during spring break. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, girl.
She's going to come back with, like... I don't know, some, like, yeast in her hair. She's going to come back with, like, all kinds of just
avoid the American tourist.
Miami, it's just, like, I don't associate it with any of the good characteristics about America, especially, like, spring break, you know, like...
I don't like spring... I mean, I associate spring break with all the worst parts of America. But Miami's got some good stuff. They've got some good food.
I probably need to go out to Miami again before it goes underwater. Because I haven't been out there as an adult.
No, you don't. You don't need to go back to that state. Like, my friend sent me a text. She's like, you want to go to Florida? I'm like, no, I'm not going to Florida with you. No. I don't like Florida. Like,
Florida is, like, a nightmare for anyone who lives in California. It's just, like, as a concept, we cannot handle that.
I don't... Every time I go to Florida, I end up in the hospital. So I don't go to Florida anymore.
Oh, my God.
I can't afford to. Not without health insurance. Give me universal health care. Maybe I'll come back to Florida. Sorry, that went off on a tangent there. Number 5 is, do we stream it? Yes.
Yes?
Can I make this clear?
I want the Eurovision performance on Spotify too, though.
Yeah. I want the video, just watch the video and be like, oh, yes, perfection. Mm-hmm. And where do we think it's going to end up on the scoreboard? I'm saying top 5, so upper left-hand corner.
I'm going to say top 3.
Oh, so you're gonna one up me.
I'm gonna one up you. I'm going to be the one to say top. Yeah.
Georgios says I actually like Tampa, but not Miami. Last time I went to Tampa Bay.
Never been to Tampa.
Well, if you like strippers, that's the strip club capital of the states. That's like they got the most per capita. Last time I went to Tampa, I got sun poisoning. So.
Oh yikes! That's.
I don't go to Florida anymore.
Wait, isn't Tampa also like super high on like the human trafficking stats or something like that? I could have sworn I saw something about that.
It is like a lot because a lot of flights can come in. You know what? I'm not gonna.
Like, are we gonna close the stream talking about just Tampa? Georgios, though, if I go to Tampa, you would be the reason why, because I would go ahead and check that out. I'm following your suggestion, even though Lili over here is saying just don't go to that state.
They have a Busch Gardens in Tampa.
I don't know what a Busch Gardens is.
It's a theme park.
Oh.
It's like they have more than one. They have one in Virginia, Williamsburg. That one's European themed. The one in Florida is based off of Africa. So, like, all the rides are African themed, and, like, because when you go to Busch Gardens, the name tags of the people say what country they're from. It's weird.
Oh.
So when you go to Tampa...
Oh, like, is this like Busch Gardens, like the African bush?
No. This is Busch Gardens.
Oh, wait, no, yeah.
Like
yeah.
the beer company.
Oh,
that make it.
That's what it was. I knew I recognized that name. So they have parks?
Yeah, they have and the beer factory is attached to the theme park. So, like, in the one in Virginia is European theme. So you go to, when you come in the front, you kind of rotate. There's Ireland, because of course. Germany, because of course. Then they have Canada for some reason. But it's French Canada.
I'm sorry, like...
they have an Italy-based one. Then they have, like, the sections of the theme parks are different countries. I think that's right.
This is kind of giving Epcot.
It's like Epcot, but with more rides.
Ooh,
they have a Scotland. Because I had the Loch Ness Monster as one of the... It used to be one of the roller coasters.
Loch Ness Monster, not like a Haggis Mobile?
And they got rid of the Big Bad Wolf, which was like my favorite. Which was in the German park. The German part of the park.
Lit.
It's like a... it was like a suspension kind of a thing. Like you're in these little carts that kind of rotate. And it goes to the woods. Last time I was on that roller coaster, I got someone's cigarette ash in my eye, and I was pissed. Because someone was smoking a cigarette on the roller coaster.
Oh my god.
And then the one is we're gonna stop talking about.
So terrible. That is so bad. Oh no.
And then yeah, like that's Busch Gardens is like Escape from Pompeii, that's like their water ride, that's in the Italian section.
Pompeii.
Yeah.
I feel like you can make better rides based on Italian
Chariot theme. Is another one.
There you go. No, that's like a better kind of like generally Hellenic Mediterranean like ride theme than Escape from Pompeii.
I don't think there was any. I haven't been to Busch Gardens in so long, and there's a train. So like when you get tired and you're at the back of the park, you don't have to walk. You can get on the train, and it'll take you back to the front.
It's fun.
Yeah. So in this stream, I guess I'm advertising for Busch Gardens. Anyways. Thank you guys so much. Oh, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm just trying to not end on a sad note.
The Eurovision merch. You guys see the shirt she's wearing? So I'm going to get one of those shirts myself. They look awesome. They come in a variety of colors. Link in the description. Get your Eurovision Fam merch. I will be probably wearing a Eurovision Fam shirt in the next couple streams or so. But you'll definitely see me wearing one in Turin. Go ahead and check out the articles.
Next week, we are going to be wrapping up our song reviews, too. So we've got the last 7 songs to talk about. And we'll talk more about, I guess, American Song Contest, because that's going to be the last heat, too.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, it'll just be us rallying up until the live shows in Turin, right?
Georgios Papadopoulos asks, will you guys be able to go to Turin? Jordan's going. I'm not.
I'm going, and Georgios, if you want to come see me out there, I should be pretty easy to find.
You'll have
I'm
a
also just
Croatian
gonna
flag.
be, yeah, I'm also gonna be like posting my outfits every day, so like y'all can like find me in case like I'm gonna have stickers, so like I'm gonna probably give you a sticker if you come meet me, but I will be there in Turin. I really hope I see you there too. I want to meet all you guys from the community. You have been ridiculously amazing, and I can't even thank you enough for just being with us on this journey and supporting us this long because it's been truly amazing, you guys. We do this for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys again so much for joining us. We'll be back same time as always next week.
Vote Croatia, get her through.